All right, so let's talk about Halloween Ends and the spoilers for this one. This one is really warranted to talk about spoilers. And anyways, I would do that because I love the franchise. So I'm of course going to talk about spoilers for Halloween Kills. Um, where the hell do I start on this? Because this movie is not a movie that anybody expected it to be. Um, First off, I'll say the marketing. The marketing of this is that in Halloween Ends, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers come face to face one last time. Um, and that's literally the marketing. There's like no connection to the character Corey Cunningham. Um, there's nothing connected to that at all. Besides that you see the character in the trailer, but you don't get any inkling of this movie by the trailer, and it's marketed very weird. And I don't know if I should applaud Universal or tell them that that wasn't a good move, because with movies, especially Hollywood movies, you have to market them where the audience will see it. I know that they wanted the Laurie Strode Michael Myers confrontation. We all know that we wanted that, but the movie really wasn't about that until the end of the movie. So they couldn't have marketed that Michael Myers was not the killer through the whole movie. It was Corey Cunningham who kind of became Michael Myers while Michael Myers was uh, underground in the sewers. And I think that's implying that he's just so badly damaged and old after what happened in Halloween Kills, where like he was literally like stabbed and impaled everywhere, but he was still alive at the end. They say he's a supernatural being in Halloween Kills, but then he's not in this one. So it's very weird with the idea of this, because Michael Myers is not like in different iterations. Michael Myers is a normal human. In some iterations, he's the supernatural thing that can never die. And this trilogy had both, and that was very odd to me. Um, but the plot of this is Laurie Strode is writing a memoir. It is 4 years after Halloween Kills, and she has, of course, lost her daughter, Karen, and she has moved into a house with her granddaughter, Allison, and the house reminds me of Halloween 4, the Halloween 4 house, but also it kind of looks like Karen's old house in Halloween 2018, so maybe that's the same house. I don't even remember, but um, this plot is that while this is going on, while Laurie Strode has now moved on and has just really just kind of given up on the idea of Michael Myers, like she has just given up. Like he might come and get her, maybe not. She has become, I think, happy for the most part, and I like that. Um, but while this is happening, you get this character named Corey Cunningham, who is arguably the main character of this movie, where he 1 year after Halloween Kills in 2019 babysits a kid, and the kid closes the door on him in the attic, and then he kicks the door open, and it throws the kid off the balcony, and the kid splatters on the ground from like 5 stories or like 4 stories high, staircases up. This kid gets splattered on the ground, and I was just like, "Holy shit! What a way to open this!" Um, but I'm not gonna lie and say that opening this way, I was like, "What is going on in this movie so far?" And it really set the tone for what the movie's gonna be. Um, that in that way. But Corey Cunningham encounters Michael Myers in the sewers um, after becoming the town's new boogeyman, because Michael Myers has been gone for 4 years. And I really like the element of this movie where Michael Myers has been gone for 4 years. They don't know where he's at, and now they are trying to find a new evil, like to blame everything on. And I like that. I like the fact that that this Corey kid who did nothing wrong on act like he it was an accident where he accidentally killed this kid is now becoming the boogeyman, or that version of the boogeyman. Literally too, whenever Michael Myers finds them, and he does something to Corey where like he starts to become like Michael Myers, he starts to move like him, he starts to kill. Um, and I thought that that was interesting because it gives these characters it gives this character kind of a way to have Michael Myers still in the movie, but in this trilogy specifically, they didn't want to describe anything about Michael Myers. They don't want any mystery resolved because in all the other Halloween movies, it's either he's in a cult or he's related to Laurie or whatever. So they didn't want to do any of that. So I understand the fact that they bring this Corey character in as a way to bring Michael back, like he is becoming the new boogeyman, and then Michael comes back and by the end slaughters him. I thought that was actually really cool. Um, I'm not gonna lie though, the first time I watched the movie, I was sitting in the theater like, wow, this is insanely different. The fact that this new killer is not is this guy is the new killer, the new Michael Myers. It felt like Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, almost. But Michael Myers is still in the movie. It's not like he isn't. But I love the fact that he's old aged and he is just decimated or destroyed after Halloween Kills. Um, and Corey is in a relationship with Allison, and it's kind of like Allison is not seeing this, but Laurie's seeing this, so now it's Laurie versus Corey. Um, Essentially Corey versus Michael still, but just in a new form, which I think is interesting. Like I said, I was so turned off the first time I watched this, but the second time I was like, okay, this works way better to me. And I watched it opening night, then the next night I watched it on Peacock. So I've seen this movie twice already. I'm gonna watch it a third time with a friend this week, but I've already seen it twice. Um, and let's talk about Laurie and Frank. So I really, really liked Laurie Strode in the movie, like in all the other movies. She has some great moments. I like that she has completely given up on Michael Myers and she has just moved on until she sees that there's something evil around the corner, that's something is changing shape. It's not Michael Myers, but it basically is because Corey is now becoming Michael Myers. But I love the fact that Laurie is just this now lighthearted. She's moved on. She's very sweet to Allison. But then they, of course, have conflict whenever Laurie thinks that this Corey is connected to Michael Myers. But I love that scene where I forgot how it's worded, but Laurie says, like, she's talking about, like, the hierarchy, and she's just ripping off your shirts and showing off your tits. Like, it was just a funny line that Jamie Lee Curtis said, and I can't remember exactly how she said it. Or no, I think she said, like, grab life by the tits or something like that. And it was just genuinely funny because Jamie Lee Curtis just does a good job with humor, and I think she's hilarious in a lot of stuff. So I like that they had that in the movie. I like that Laurie was this totally different person since Halloween Kills. And I just loved how it felt so different. Um, I really liked her connection with Frank. I really liked Frank in the last one. Um, and they just really have a sweet connection to each other. They're just so charming to each other. And I really liked that will they, won't they kind of thing. I felt like it was really charming and just really worked with these characters. Like it made them very interesting. And I genuinely was glad that they just, by the end of the movie, they got their happy, bittersweet moment at the end. Like they still were together. They were together by the end, basically. Or maybe not. You didn't fully see it. Oh, and also I wanted to mention, just random, this is in the movie, but I thought it was hilarious whenever the DJ, like whenever Corey as Michael Myers goes into the DJ's place, and Darcy, the mail girl's in there. She's just like cutting Halloween Ghost out of paper, and she's like, can I help you? And then Michael just kills her immediately. I thought that was hilarious. But it was only for like 2 seconds, and apparently that there's going to be footage of that on the Blu-ray of her actually getting killed, her character, because it was in the background and you just hear screaming for like 1 second, so you're like, oh, okay, I guess she's gone. But it was great to see Darcy in this. I love seeing her and stuff. Um, I thought that was a good cameo. Speaking of cameos, character cameos. So Nick Castle also appears as this guy at a party, and he takes off his shirt and he's got like lingerie on, and he's like, see anything you like? Like, I thought that was on the nose with the line, but it was still kind of funny. I like seeing that. I like seeing the lady from Halloween and Halloween Kills, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, the lady who shows the podcasters Judith Meyer's grave, and then in the second one, she's the one impaled in the neck with the light bulb, with the light fixture. And apparently she's still alive. She just lost her voice, but she was bleeding out in Halloween Kills, so I thought she would have been dead. But Laurie Strode encounters this woman at the grocery store with Frank, and it's the sister of the lady who was stabbed in the neck with the light fixture by Michael in Halloween Kills. And I like that moment where the lady's like, "My sister, he killed, he destroyed my sister. He took her voice." And I like how the sister of the woman that wasn't killed, says to Laurie, like, "You instigated this man. You pushed this man to the limit. This man had brain damage, and you pushed him, and he did all this horrible stuff," which I really like. I like how each of these films in this new trilogy that David Gordon Green did, I like how he made them so different in each one. I love the fact that Halloween 2018 is basically a proclamation of all of the Halloween movies together in one after the first one. And it is basically its H2O remake of Laurie meeting Michael again, trying to kill Michael, but she doesn't succeed at all. And then Halloween Kills is about mob brutality and about the town and the effects of the town, of Michael Myers in the town, and how no matter what, trying to kill Michael Myers ends in bad for everybody. And then in Halloween Ends, I like the fact that the town is screwed up, where like they have suicides, they have people who don't know how to cope with the idea that Michael Myers is still out there. And I love that each film of the trilogy just really does a great job of being different. Because like I said, 2018 is very character driven. Halloween Kills is very slasher driven. And this one is character driven as well, but it's not even Michael Myers fully being the killer in this completely. Like, he is later, but I think that it's really cool that they had the balls to do this, because it genuinely surprised me. The more and more I think about it, the more I really like this movie. And I've, of course, got to talk about the ending. So the end of the movie. So they've said that they could make more sequels to the Halloween franchise, and you always think, oh, it's never going to end. This is called Halloween Ends, but of course, with horror movie sequels, they will say it's the final one, and then it's not. This one, the only way I think that they're gonna do a sequel to this is if it's not in this continuity. They might do another continuity, or maybe continue on from one of the other sequels' continuities. But this final battle between Michael and Laurie literally drains out Michael's blood by slitting his wrist and his throat. And then I love the fact that she and Allison kill him, but then they say it's not good enough. And they and everybody in the town of Haddonfield takes Michael Myers and throws him into the metal crusher thing in the ground that you put vehicles in, that smashes vehicles, and you see him decimated. Like, you see him break into a million pieces and bloody pulp. That was awesome. I love the fact that you see Michael Myers get killed in this, because you never really see that in that way. I know that Halloween H2O, of course, was rebunked whenever Halloween Resurrection came out. Of course, it wasn't Michael Myers, but in that movie, the not Michael Myers got his head chopped off, which was definitive. But then, of course, it wasn't him in Resurrection. But in this, they could find a bullshit explanation, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think that Jamie Lee Curtis put it in writing that she's not doing any more of these. She's done. I don't know if that's true, because she said that before with Halloween 2, and then Halloween Resurrection, she said she was done. So who knows? But I love that ending. I love their fight. I love the fact that she slaughtered him and killed him. It just felt so rewarding that she finally got him. And that the town all watched, and the town all came and killed Michael with her. That was great. But there was an implication that there could be a sequel, in the fact that she says in the memoir that evil never dies, it just changes shape, which is completely true. But I don't think it's going to be the same way as intended. The way they talk about it, I don't think in that, or the way she mentions that. But yeah, genuinely, watching this a second time, I really loved the shit out of it. I thought it was so good. Um, the only thing that I could point out that I thought kind of annoyed me now after the second viewing is that this movie feels like there's a lot of unanswered questions though. And it's this trilogy feels haphazard in a way, even though I love all three of them, because in Halloween 2018, Michael Myers is a human being, and they say that in the movie, and then in Halloween Kills, he is literally stabbed everywhere and then gets back up and just slaughters everybody like he's invincible. And then in this one, he's just a human being again. So I thought that was kind of weird. And also in Halloween Kills, they made a big point to say Michael Myers is going back to his home to watch outside, but what for? And people were asking that throughout the movie, like, what's he staring at out that window? And then there's no explanation to that either because it says in a newspaper article that the Myers house was demolished after Halloween Kills. So it didn't really give any of that. Yeah, so it had a couple things that were unresolved for the trilogy as a whole, but I didn't dislike it. Oh, I was also glad that we got Lindsay in this movie, but she wasn't killed. I thought that was great because Laurie's got to have somebody. I'm glad she's got Frank and Lindsay and Allison. She's got people that she could live with for the rest of her life, and I really like that. I thought that was great. She got some sort of happiness, and I like that the movie didn't end on a fact where I was like really happy. It was very bittersweet, of course, that Michael Myers is dead, but now these people have got to get back up and figure out what to do in life. Laurie's kept picking up all the pieces with everybody. Um, and I love that the final shots of the movie was like the original Halloween, where like it shows the house and he could be anywhere, and then it's just quiet in this one where it shows a shot of Laurie's house, all the rooms, and then it shows Michael Myers' mask just on the table, and then it ends with "Don't Fear the Reaper." Great way to end it with that song. I love that about this movie. I thought it was fantastic, and it's weird because this movie's getting a lot of shit, but I expected it to after watching it. I knew that this would not be for everybody. It would not. It reminded me of something like Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It is not a movie that people are gonna agree on. It's a movie that people are gonna say is dog shit, which I completely disagree on. Um, I also like that the font in this too is Halloween 3 in the opening credits, like the music, um, or not the music, the blue font coloring was Halloween 3's coloring, like in that movie. That's great. And David Gordon Green does love Halloween 3, so that's awesome just seeing that. And this slightly felt like Halloween 3 in not in the way that Michael Myers isn't there because he is still here. It's just a movie that is so drastically different than the other ones up until the ending. So I thought that that was great using Halloween 3 influence because that's always awesome. But yeah, I loved Halloween Ends. I thought it was fantastic. Like I said, first time I thought it was, I didn't know what to think the first watch. And then the second watch, and then looking online at people, how they said they hated it and how people said they loved it. I really had to think about it. And I really do love it. And I'm glad that it exists. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to shit on it, but oh well. That's fine. Give it to me then. It's all mine. It's mine, and the people will love it. So that's it for today. Just can't wait to get it on 4K. It'll come out, of course, in a couple months. I can't wait. So that's it for today. See you guys later. Take care.